Astro World. Oh my god, it's been 2 weeks too long. Bam. It's so good to be back here in the studio to talk to you guys about the sports that we always talk about, F1 and NBA. People's the NBA regular season is coming to a close. But before I get ahead of myself and get into this juicy talk, welcome back, boys. Welcome back. Good to see you
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Thank you.
It's been
It is good to be back.
busy 2 weeks. Yeah, boy.
It has been.
Too
It's
busy.
been one of them times. So how's the last 2 weeks, Hakim? It's been a little while.
The last 2 weeks have been hectic. Hectic with work, hectic with studying, hectic with football, hectic with gym. It's been busy, but productive nonetheless. And they were a
That's
good
what I
two
like to
weeks.
hear.
Just they were a good 2 weeks. But I'm ready here now to how it goes. Chop it up with the guys. NBA F1 action. I'm ready. Ready.
Good stuff, good stuff. What about you, Rayvon, man? How was the last 2 weeks?
Um, well, I would say decent for the most part. Not much to
Mhm.
see on my end, but the time just going by. That's the most I can say in that regard. Like just like that is the end of the NBA season already, as you just mentioned. Um,
Mhm.
I can say I haven't been able to, tune in as much basketball as I would have liked to coming up to the end of the season. All the races that are going on in both conferences. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, we here to talk about it. I squeezed in what I could over the weekend. So
Yeah.
excited to talk some basketball and some F1 too. To a lesser extent, let me see it. Let me be frank with that. To a lesser extent, because I don't know. As we started out the season for F1, saying it just looks like it might be a repeat of last year yet again. But some optimism, but we ain't get there. We ain't get
Yeah.
there in the F1 talk.
Eventually.
Mhm.
But that's good to hear, man. Good to see the boys back as usual. Peoples, if you're in the stream, you already know what to do, man. Hit that like button for the team. Um, Make sure that YouTube know we here, we live, and we ready to go. Peoples, like I mentioned before, and Rayvon just mentioned, NBA season is coming. Well, I should say regular season is coming to an end swiftly, rather swiftly. Actually, it's going to be done in about 6 days. So in less than a week, the NBA
Mhm.
season is scheduled to be over. And we got some nice races going for position for seeding in both conferences. And so far is been a really good season. Each team got their own story to tell. Um,
Losing you a
Interesting
bit there,
stories.
Hans.
Say again.
Now we losing you there a bit. Right. Well, I
Oh,
was losing you. I don't know if it's me or if it's you.
It was good on my end actually.
that's fair.
So
That's
it might be
fair.
me then. Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, like I was saying, each team has their story to tell, and each team has interesting story. Some teams started off slow, and right now they're on a tear. Some teams never take the foot off the gas, and they've just been winning almost everything that they've gone head to head in or with. And it's coming to that point where we're getting to see some action, some nice action taking place in the NBA. So seems like Rayvon ditched the man a little bit there due to some technical difficulties. But
And that might have
Hakeem,
been he might have given us a little prelude based on when he lost you for your connectivity. And that might have been one of the signs.
possibly, man, who knows? But I can just answer you quick question because the season is going to be up before we get to really talk about it again. What's your overall view, Hakeem, of the season and how it went so far? And did it live up to any expectations you had?
I would say
That's
overall the season, a pretty steady season once again. Um, I'm gonna have to put it into two categories, which is based on the East and the West. The West has been dominating the Eastern team. Well, the Western teams have been dominating the Eastern teams. Just based on their record, team's been performing well. They've been surprises for me in the Timberwolves. Right now, the Timberwolves are currently in first, the Thunder in third. These were two teams I didn't quite expect to be so good this year based off of last year. You can see them. You can see that they were coming, but when you actually see it come to fruition, where the teams are actually playing well and executing, it's a whole other story. So those teams were surprising to me. The Mavs, their woes, their struggles. I didn't expect them to be a mid-table team per se. Suns definitely not. The Suns are the big three. We are looking at them
Yeah.
to be, have a higher seed. Season isn't finished yet, but they're probably going to finish about between either fifth to seventh. Who knows? So I would expect them to be a higher seeded team. But overall, a lot of high scoring points, thrills, action. The East has been kind of boring now. If I had to go into the East now, it's been the same old, same old. Celtics dominating. The Bucks, Celtics, and the Bucks. The Magic, however, were a big surprise. But outside of that, everything's been normal. The Heat in the lower seeded teams, if they're probably going to be in the playing tournament and make some miraculous run and get to the first round, second round, who knows? So right now the season is unfolding as expected in the East, but the West has been phenomenal. Must say, didn't expect Lakers to be so low on the table. We expected a little better, with the Lakers. But that
Yeah.
being said, it's still following the same trajectory as last season. So I guess is just about where we are right now. But it was a good season, not as exciting to me as last season, but a good season nonetheless.
What about you, Rayvon? Any any surprise? Well, yes, there are surprises, but just kind of highlight those and any expectations that you had that were kind of debunked through the season.
Um, well, we did do a tier list to start off the season.
Hmm.
Um, so if we're going off of that, yes, there has been some surprises. The biggest surprise for me is OKC. Um, who else I would say the Magic has been a beautiful surprise as well for me. To some extent, the Knicks, I would say. Y-
Yeah.
You know, you know, I'm really a big fan of Julius Randle,
Yeah.
but Jalen Brunson has again ascended to another level. Uh, Truthfully, I think that he should be in the conversation of being a top 10 player of the league. I don't know if you saw he had 40 something last night against the Bucks. Um, yeah, if we continue and you look at players, SGA jumping into the MVP conversation was, well, I wouldn't say it's a big surprise, but I didn't think that, but coming from last year, he would have taken this next level of a jump as well. Tyrese Maxey, another player individually.
Mhm.
Tyrese Halliburton, impressive first half of the season, kind of teetered off to the end. Um,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, if we look at it from a player perspective. But all in all, I think was a very exciting season. I disagree with Hakeem saying that it is not as exciting as last year. Um,
And
for
last
the
year was
Not
simple
good.
for
fact,
Lakers, at least.
Last year was
it probably, yeah, that might be the Lakers bias talking. But I can say that the race, if you look at seeding and the importance of the games coming up to the end of the season, have been absolutely critical across the board,
in
especially
the
in the
West,
West. The
and
West has
just in the
been
West, just in the
the
West.
most. I can't
The
say
East
just
is
in the
the
West,
East,
in the
the
East
East is
as well.
the East is basically solidified. The
Not necessarily. We both have dissected that. You can see that it's not solidified at all.
or the
The
or
only
the
thing
top.
that's solidified is number one. Number one is the Celtics. I
Yeah.
can't say the East has been any less dramatic, but obviously the West has been a lot more dramatic, and the competition there has been off the charts. As Hakeem said, what I can agree with is the West has been miles better than the East. You're looking at a 10 seed in the Golden State Warriors, 8 games above 500, 10 seed. Like, I don't think there's ever been a season where the 10 seed has had such a high win percentage. Like, come on. Are you saying that
Yeah.
it's not an exciting season? Like, that is exciting within itself. Um, but again, I think we've had some great performances as well. We've had two guys going off for 70, Luca and Embiid. Embiid has had a historic season, but
Yeah.
falling short due to injury, unfortunately. The season has been a blast outside of the injuries, but you're never going to get a perfect season where everybody's healthy. Um, That's part of the game. The trades I could say have been quite underwhelming. There's not there hadn't been a lot of big trades. I think all the big trades happened last off season. So this
Yeah.
this trade deadline was quite quiet. And yeah, all in all, I think it has been a good season. I'll be able to see epic race to the end, especially for seeding in both conferences, not just one or the other. Yes, the West is more exciting, I agree, but both conferences have implications with these last four games when it comes to seeding from playoff spots all the way down to playing in both conferences.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't disagree that this season was good. I stated that earlier. It just to me it was not as good as last season. I felt there was a lot more drama between the teams who is seeding in terms of like, Grizzlies being the villain team, I should say. Uh, are the Lakers going to make it? Golden State. I felt there was a lot more drama all around. This year is almost like there's just been great individual performances, but in terms of drama in the league between teams, the rivalry, to me, I haven't already felt that as much. And like in terms
Uh,
of seeding the East, I mean the ninth and tenth solidify for sure. Right now, yes, there's a bit. The games are kind of the teams are kind of close right now. From the I would say the maybe even the second seed to the seventh, but they have. I think the Bucks right now they're at 78 games and Celtics at 79, and B just came back. I mean, I don't expect much variation in these last four games. To be honest, I think they're gonna settle where they are. The on like the West, which is like every team is fighting just to get any tournament, and that's for the 10th seed and above. So I mean, like to me, it's more drama on that side for sure.
Fair points. I think Celtics to Ray point is in a little bit of trouble because Celtics got an old nemesis in Heat and a new nemesis in Hawks, and both teams have the chance, just the slight chance, of hitting that AFC spot. And if that's the case, then Celtics might be in trouble. Who knows? I mean, it's possible based on the stats from the regular season, but that would be very exciting to look at. So now that I've touched on that a little bit, Rayvon, I've dabbled in that idea. Um, let me look at the West. Let me shift to the West first and look at the first to third seed race. Super close race. I don't know if you could get any closer than this, to be honest. Um, you got two teams with virtually the same record, and then one team that's just a couple games behind. So talk to us about that excitement and who you expect to, I guess, come out on top.
right off the bat, I predict that the Nuggets should get the number one seed. They got the easiest schedule, remaining schedule out of all the teams. They do have to play the Wolves, though, which is who's the next team in contention with them for that number one spot. I feel that the Wolves deserve it for the season that they've had, but I feel like if it was to make a call based on the odds, the Nuggets should win should win the number one seed, and I think they will be gunning for it because they see the benefits of having it last season throughout the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think they see the importance of it again this year to go through the playoffs. So I go with the Nuggets on this one, even though it wasn't my team. I think they deserve it. They will have to play. We got the Nuggets to play. We got another Suns game to play. The Suns kind of cut us on Friday night. Um, I think we got two
A
easy
slight
games like
salty.
Wizards. Yeah, we got the Wizards and uh,
Hawks.
I think the Hawks. Yeah, we got the
Yeah.
Wizards and the Hawks too. Remaining, there should be two easy games, but um, when you look at it, the Nuggets got like a lot a easy game. The hardest game they got to play is the Bulls, in my opinion. And I guess that might actually be the decider for who gets the number one seed. So that's a big game coming out on our marquee matchups for the week. So we'll see what the guys pick when we get there.
True things. Hakeem, exciting 1 to 3 in the West. Rayvon say he going with Jokic and the crew. Who you going with?
I am going to go with Timberwolves. I feel like I agree with Rayvon. Nuggets have the easiest fixtures for remaining fixtures, but I mean, you look at the Timberwolves fixtures; they have the Wizards and the Hawks. Yeah, the Suns is going to be a difficult game, but I expect Timberwolves to beat the Nuggets in that match this Wednesday coming, right? So once the Timberwolves win, I beat Nuggets. Wherever you could correct me, I'm not sure how many times they've played so far for the season, but assuming Timberwolves has, I would assume right now, based because they're in first, they have the
Yeah, the
winning
tiebreaker.
percentage
Yeah,
based on the head to head. So once they
yeah,
win that, even if they have to lose to the Suns, they will still finish in first, providing, of course, Thunder doesn't win their last remaining 4 games. And looking at the Thunder's fixtures, they got the Kings, Bucks, and Mavs. I mean, and Spurs. I mean, Spurs have not been having don't have a winning record, but they can always be a challenge, right, on any given day.
yeah.
So really and
Agree.
truly, I don't see the Thunder winning the last 4 games. So based on the fixtures and what I expect, I believe Timberwolves will come out on top. Once they beat Nuggets and that take breaker. Once they beat Nuggets, if they lose to the Suns, that's it, game over. And then for second,
Yeah,
of
the
course, then it'd be Nuggets, and third, the Thunder. I don't want to see
yeah.
Clippers
I
being
didn't.
able to, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mention the Thunder. The Thunder has got hit at the worst time with the injury bug. SGA been out a couple of games. Taylor Williams been out a couple of games. I don't expect them to have a super strong finish to the season either. So I'm not even counting them in the race per se. But you never know. They only got one. They only one game out. Miracles do happen. They might just go and win those 4 games straight, and and the rest is history. Timberwolves are the Nuggets might lose one or
Against the
two.
Bucks
So
and Mavs, I mean,
I mean, the
anything is
Bucks have
possible.
been a question mark.
They have been, or
If
they
you
have been
see
underdog, underdog.
the
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, it's not going to be an easy fixture. I mean, they have to hope. If the seeding has been a little more solidified by the last 2 games, then the Bucks or the Mavs and the Mavs might potentially rest their players. But if it's not been solidified in terms of the seeding, I don't see any of those teams resting their players. They're going to play all out.
I ain't seeing any team resting the players because I tell you, every single team that is in within the playoff to the playing spot, except I guess the teams on the outskirts of the playing, are in contention for seeding in some way. Some they either one game behind somebody or somebody one game
Mhm.
behind them or whatever the case may be. So they either got keep pace to make sure they keep their spot or push themselves to make sure they get a higher spot. Everybody that's within that bracket is in that race. So I doubt anybody resting players unless he's the Celtics. The Celtics is the only team that in a spot where nobody can really touch them, to be
It's
honest.
possible. Yeah, no one can touch them. Not really. No one can touch
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Believe it. But don't you think that's like, even if you, I don't want to call it match fixing, but teams might start to rest players because they realize, okay, I mean, I have a favorable matchup against this team. If I finish third as opposed to second, you don't think that might come into play a bit?
Um, it
That's
might,
possible.
but I can't see where it would be. Maybe if we go down to the 4 to 7, maybe.
But don't forget the
Or
new rule though, because you can really just rest players without
Can't rest two all
reasonable
stars.
cause.
No, you can't rest two
yeah,
all stars. It's only two
Right.
all stars.
So
So I mean, it's still technically the Bucks only had one all star. This no, they had two. So I mean, they might rest Giannis, or they might choose to rest which one.
I don't want
Uh,
anybody resting situations. To be honest, I literally assume that nobody and resting
every team
nobody.
playing.
I call it a day because me personally, I don't see where you rest people when you're just talking for positioning. Because the higher seed you get, the better the more you got home court advantage throughout the playoffs. That's the whole reasoning for it. So I don't think any of these teams will want to, you know, give that away, especially the ones that are in the better seeds at the moment. Except the
Mm.
Celtics. The only team is the Celtics that I could say that in a position where it don't matter. It really don't matter for every single team that in that race. It matters. So
They're,
I
I would
don't see
say
nobody resting.
Celtics might actually be in a tricky position because they have to find the right balance between if to rest their players to then lose that rhythm, or are they going to keep playing their players for like first 3 quarters or the first half just to keep them consistent and performing?
Well, they got the easiest schedule, the remaining schedule. So I think we can see some resting from them for sure.
yeah, I don't think their seeding is going. Well, not that I don't think their
They
seeding
might
is
not-
not going to change, but
they
yeah,
might go play
figuring out
76ers.
how to go about the next couple of games into the playoffs is definitely something that the Celtics got to work on, especially with these two teams on the horizon that could come and put a spoke in the wheel for sure.
Mhm.
Suppose no, they get the Celtics. I know Celtics. They get Celtics. Suppose no, the Celtics get the 76ers in the first round
It's
and get
easy.
bunks. I mean, once Joel
Nah,
Embiid is
nah,
there,
nah. uh,
it's like it's an
I
easy
don't
team.
think so.
They're only in that position because Joel got hurt. If Joel didn't get hurt, they'd be a higher seeded team for sure. So I mean, like, hey, you don't want to smoke for the 76ers?
I don't see that happening,
Uh,
Hakeem.
I
But right now they're in
I don't
seventh.
think
So let's say
that
they
one is
I
let's
see
stretched
that,
out,
but
in my opinion.
let's say they finish seventh or eighth. They lose the first match. The Heat beat them. You know the Heat. If providing the season stays the way it is right now, well, actually, it will.
Mhm.
They might the most they could be is seventh. If they can't fall to ninth or tenth, ninth or tenth is definitely solidified. So they're either gonna finish seventh or eighth, or they might get America and finish OCD playing tournament. But let's say they stay playing tournament, and the Heat beat them in the first game, and then the Sixers win their second game. They will be finished as the eighth seed, and then they gotta play Celtics. That's very 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 plausible.
very possible. But
Right now,
I don't think these Celtics scared
Celtics in danger zone for two teams.
as
I
Hansel
think
said, the Heat.
I think they would prefer the 76ers or
Yeah,
Bulls over the other two at this point, given the story of the season so far.
mhm. The Hawks got the number. To be
Yeah,
honest, so
the
I
Hawks
feel
for
like
sure
that series
deserves
will go
it.
7 for whatever reason. Well, actually, no, Trey Young ain't playing, so nah, they can't
Well,
sustain that for sevens.
I don't think Trey on play in the last head to head that them had either.
Yeah, but I
J-
think Trey Young out for the season.
Yeah, but DeJounte and the rest of guys was doing a pretty good job, and they still beat Celtics. So I mean, Trey Young or not, Celtics should be worried.
Hmm. Oh,
I
actually,
mean,
Hawks cleared Trey Young to return to practice after finger injury ahead of playing tournament. So hey,
They need that. They
hey,
yeah.
need that guy back.
Look, at the end of the day, outside of Celtics, like Ramon was saying, the Bucks in the second seed right now, but you see the record between third to fourth in the East.
second,
That
second to six. As a matter of fact,
well, yeah, if you want to include Pacers, but
yeah,
You got two Pacers there.
that is insane.
exactly,
That is actually insane.
exactly. That is well. I guess we can move on to that from in the East, second to fifth. I had second to fifth, but you could include the Pacers easily at 6. The second place got
Yeah.
31 losses, in the Bucks, and sixth place got 34 losses in the Pacers. Let the Bucks lose a couple more than games. The Magic right on the tail,
Yeah.
one game
Can't
behind the
believe
Bucks. The Knicks right on the tail too, one game behind the Bucks. Cavs 2 games behind the Bucks. So right now the Bucks on a 4-game losing streak, the biggest losing streak, I think. Well, no,
Yeah.
second, second largest, no, third largest losing streak in the NBA as a team, a second seed. I don't know why you would be losing so many games now at this time,
Yep.
but
tired,
something's going
man.
on with the Bucks. I don't know if it can't be tired. Can't be tired at this time.
Guys tired.
Uh,
Giannis tired. Giannis
I
tired of saving them.
Yeah, it's carrying the team.
I predict that the Bucks don't hold the second seed. Either the Magic, the Knicks. I would
I
say the
feel the
Magic or
Knicks
the
might get
Knicks.
it. I
Yeah,
feel the
either
Knicks
the
might
Magic
get
or
it.
the Knicks might take it away. I actually, well, we can talk about that further, but let me not say that now. Magic and the Knicks will take the second seed from the Bucks because they'll be playing absolutely poor. The Bucks have a pretty difficult schedule as well, heading out to end out the season. So
Mm.
good luck to
We could
them.
see the Bucks drop to fourth or fifth, possibly.
Yeah. Wait, actually,
In
look,
this
the
scenario.
Bucks playing the Magic. The Bucks playing the Magic has won them points twice. So
At least
the
they're in
Magic
control.
hold.
They're in
Yeah,
control.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, Magic in control of their destiny, Bucks in control of their destiny. But they also playing the Thunder. Well, without maybe SG might be back by then. But they're playing the Celtics as well. Playing the Celtics tomorrow night on TNT. I should have probably put as a prediction game, but
The
don't
Bucks got it
worries.
rough.
No worries. So they got a very difficult schedule to end of the season. They're already on a losing streak. I predict either Knicks or the Magic to take that spot. I feel like the Magic will beat them in, even if one of the two games, the Magic will beat them and take that spot or the Knicks. If the Knicks win up the rest of the season. What do you think about the 2 to 5 spot, Hakeem?
The 2 to 5th spot.
In the East?
Yeah, looking at it now. I mean, I expect changes for sure. There's no doubt about it. It's hard to say who's going to hold on which seed. I do expect the Bucks and the Magic either to finish second and third or third and second, depending on those two fixtures. Anything outside of that is fair game. Right now, looking at there's certain teams that are behind one game. So right now the Cavaliers are behind one game. The Pacers are behind one game in comparison to the Knicks. So I mean, like, the Knicks are in a good position. It's so tight to honestly predict who's going to finish what. I do suspect the 76ers will make a surge and try to get out of that playing tournament. So I think one team for sure is going to fall into the playing tournament that we did not expect. And so
That's
yeah, so
funny.
maybe
From 2 to 5th.
That's funny, right? Because
right
I
now,
remember.
Sixers are 7th right now, and they're on 44 wins on 79 games. 6 is Pacers, 45 wins, 79 games, and the Cavaliers, they're in 5th right now, 79 games, 46 wins. So I mean, it's not like it's outrageous. It's just,
But he also got a game in hand on the 76ers too. So yeah, they might.
but they still want yeah, they have a game in hand, but they're 1 win behind, so it'll be almost the same. Yeah, it'd be
So
they
so
actually
so
have the same
6 to
record.
8th even has their own little race going on.
Yep.
Yeah,
So Pacers in 2 races, I would say,
Mhm.
if you want to put them in the race, two to like
Yeah, them in the
including
race of trying to get a higher seed, and they're also in the race of not falling to the playing
in tournament. Yep.
spot.
yeah
Yeah.
It's
last
a
4
lot of
crucial
it's a
games
lot
for
of
the
pressure
Pacers.
all around. It's a lot of pressure all around.
Mhm.
But I do expect changes. I just do believe that the Bucks and the Magic, they should stay second and third. Hopefully, I mean, like, if they made one piece, they should stay relatively the same. But if Bucks beat them both games, that'll put them to 80 games. They be still at 46. Yo, it gets a little shaky actually. I may take back what I say.
As we're saying, like,
Yeah, I may take back what I
I
say.
just think that the
Yeah.
Bucks might lose out. I think it's pretty clear that they are in trajectory to lose right now. Lost 4 games in a row.
Hmm.
I think
Got the
Giannis is gonna go
toughest remaining
crazy.
schedule in the
I
league.
think Giannis is gonna go crazy to make sure
He
he
could
doesn't
go crazy
fall.
and still hold an L, big.
It's true. It's happened numerous
It's
times over
happened
the
so
season.
often. Oh
And
my God, Giannis had 45, but that can't be the headline at the end of the season. So is
45
Doc
not
the
good
right
enough.
coach? Is Doc the right coach? What is going to happen in the playoffs to the Bucks? I can see all the headlines happen. Going across on
What
the screen
happened to
right now.
Dame and Giannis tandem?
Doc
Dame
is
and
gonna
Giannis
hold all
tandem
the
not
blame.
working out.
Doc is gonna hold all the blame.
What?
Especially
What is it?
especially if they had a 3-1 lead in any series and lose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and this,
it's a
to be
wrap.
honest,
It's a wrap.
this is Doc Rivers' last chance.
Yeah, he go about to
Happen
broadcast.
again,
He was
nobody.
about to broadcasting
Yeah.
immediately.
Remember, he said now, boy, he might drop a 3-1 lead at ESPN too. Laugh it out. Laugh it out. Laugh it out. Look,
Can't
Yo.
this
take
is
the
the
risk.
last chance. He might go retire permanently from anything to do with basketball.
Yeah, this
for real,
is
his
actually crazy for the Bucks.
yeah, his what what to call it, his status as a coach is on the line. His job is on the line. Everything on the line for Doc in this postseason, and they're
Yeah,
having the worst thing to be in a losing funk. To be honest, to be in a
I
funk.
agree.
Um,
Agree.
but let me
Once
not stick on the East. To be honest, we got 4-7 in the West.
It turns out that the East was more exciting than we thought.
Uh,
After all, Hakeem,
I
right,
mean,
Hakeem?
right, Hakeem. 4-7 in the West. We got the Clippers to the Pelicans. Clippers 50-28. Mavericks right on the tail, 48-30. Suns, who've been moving up. Well, I could say the Mavericks as well too. Really took some big steps over the last few weeks. Suns 46-32. Pelicans tied with the Suns at 7, 46-32 as well. Personally, let me start it off. I thought the Pelicans was coming for that 4th seed. And the Clippers, then Brandon Ingram and get hurt. Unfortunately,
yeah.
I was happy to see the Pelicans moving it because I'm quite scared of playing the Pelicans as a Timberwolves fan. Heading into the postseason, we played them like 4 times for the season, and I had a game that I was confident with them with. They had a game that Zion played. The man barely win the games that Zion played. The man had nobody that could have started Zion. Zion was just doing whatever he want pretty much. I don't see how that would change the postseason, but no, they lost by and gonna drop a couple of games and falling backwards. I think they're going to hover around that same 7 and 8 spot. They're going to be in the play-in more than likely. I don't know if the Suns can make it. They got a tough schedule to end the season as
I
well.
was about to
So
say.
it's a tough one between the Pelicans and Suns. I put my bet on the Suns to come over it. I'd like to see. I would like to
But your
see them play the
desire
Thunder. To
is
be
to
honest,
who Suns?
yeah, I would like to see them play the Thunder in the first round. To be honest, so that'd be hype for me. But then between the Mavericks and the Clippers, I just want to stay that way. I just want to stay that way. Keep it there. One of those. I mean, it could flip. If Mavericks get 4 and the Clippers get 5, fine. If it stay that way, then I am a happy man. I am excited for that. So I can see the real battle. Well, it's a real battle between all 4 teams. But I think the way that the Mavericks been playing, they'll be able to keep up and maintain their position. The Clippers might be a little bit skeptical. They might. I am not sure of their schedule. You just take a quick look. I think they should be able to win out.
The Clippers have the Suns back to back, and then Jazz and Rockets.
Ooh.
So you ready
the
for my
Suns got a tough schedule, boy.
Yeah, ready for my
Jeez.
tea. Honestly, I got the prediction right here.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me let you cut.
Right. So I believe the Clippers are gonna finish 4th, Mavs 5th, Pelicans 6th, and the Suns 7th. Right.
Ooh.
Reason why I say that, the Clippers have a 2-game advantage on Mavs. They play the Suns twice, so they are in control. Provide if they were to still lose 2 games, they would still be in 4th, tied with the Mavs, assuming the Mavs were to win their 2 games. And then the last 2 games
Oh,
for
the
the
man's got
Clippers,
4 games to play, not so.
yeah, 4 games.
Mavs
But
got
if
4.
providing the Mavs were to win their next 2 games, and the Clippers lost their next 2 games, which should be to the Suns, the Mavs will now be on 48 wins, while Clippers will still be on. Sorry, the Mavs will be on 50, and Clippers
50
will still
win.
be 50. So they will be on 50 apiece.
Yeah.
Uh, so it
Maybe
might, Clippers
They're
might still
tied.
end up being Clippers might still be go. They might have the record, so they might still go up. And then the Clippers' last 2 games are Rockets and Jazz. The Rockets have made a surge, but I would expect the Clippers to take care of business for the 11th seed. They have nothing to play for at this point in time. They
Exactly.
out in
They're
the
already
play tournament.
eliminated.
Yeah, so it's like
They
there's
have
nothing.
nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Come
They're
on.
eliminated.
Only thing they have
Well,
to play for is who wants to
nothing,
keep their spot in the
nothing any
roster.
playing are the playoffs. But
Yeah.
trust me, those teams on the outside want to
Yeah,
cause as
true.
much havoc as they
We can
can.
see some upsets.
Only
They're
only
not
only
playing.
the players that only the players that try to keep in the try to keep a spot on the roster for next season. That's not guaranteed. But and the Jazz and they play the Jazz too. So the Clippers have the Jazz and the Rockets, which should be relatively easy fixtures. So I expect the Clippers to come out on top. Uh, Then the Mavs have probably I want to say the easiest out of those four teams. They have the Hornets, they have the Pistons, the Heat. That could go,
That's
either
questionable.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But we
then I have
keep
the Thunder.
waiting
The
for
Thunder's their very last game.
yeah.
That game, it depends how the story unfolds. If the
That could
Thunder,
be a hard game.
it could be, but it's the last game. I mean, the Thunder are the 3 games up from the fourth spot. So it depends how the season is going, if they're going to play or not play. I do believe the last game is going to be something where they're going to accept their fate with all the pros and cons. Am I going to play my star players, or I'm going to rest them? Do I want a higher seed, or can I even get a higher seed? Or I'm going to just stay where I am right now because this is the best, most favorable matchup for my team. And
Mhm.
then we look at the
With
Suns.
4 games to go, though, I think Thunder pretty much locked in. To be
They
honest,
locked in for
Yeah, they
top
lost
three,
into
for
the
top
top three
three.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
not, they still can't determine who's gonna, if they're gonna finish higher or not. But I believe they're gonna finish third anyway. Uh, and then the Nets, and then so I have fourth and fifth, seventh Pelicans. I believe Pelicans are gonna make a surge. They have they have Trailblazers, should be a cakewalk. They have Warriors, which are already guaranteed to be in the playing tournament, so they might, go hit or miss there. And then they have the Kings, which should be a difficult fixture. Uh, well, the Kings they don't have to. Yeah, they don't have the Kings don't have to play because they're
They
gonna
got to
want to
play
make their
that game.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have to,
exactly. They're right
as well
behind
as
them.
Lakers. But even those last four fixtures, I still think are much easier, relatively speaking, compared to Clippers. I mean, compared to Suns. The
Phoenix.
Suns have
Yeah.
the Suns have Clippers twice, Kings, and then Timberwolves. On a
that's tough.
serious note, right? They got
I
a
think
whole.
Suns might be, to be honest.
On a serious note, they actually have to pray that they actually stay in the. They don't make any playing tournament. Actually, no, I studied. They might end up finishing eighth or ninth. The way looking at it, it's possible. Anything's possible. But right now,
Mhm.
it- they could lose their next 4 games. They, they could
Yeah,
realistically
I
lose their
will
next
hope
four
so
games.
bad.
They can.
They can.
It's
It's
true
not case
though.
like it's not case like we go. Something crazy has to happen. They could legitimately play very good basketball and still lose their next 4 games. Every team they're
Mhm.
Yeah,
playing against has motive. They have an agenda. Yeah, boy,
Yeah.
It
But
sounds
I
might
can
be
say the
cutting,
same
but
for the Pelicans too. Every team that accept the Trailblazers that they play got motive, they got agenda. So
Suns might be in clips.
that's a crucial win.
yeah,
That is a
true.
crucial win there. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
and then the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors
The Warriors got agenda.
they do,
But
but I mean,
Ev-
they
Everybody
do.
got to play
But at least they
ball.
have the
Very
Trailblazers
fair.
as a bonus win. Should be a bonus win for them.
yeah, correct.
If they lose
Correct.
against the
You know,
Trailblazers
it's funny. They will come and
tomorrow,
lose the game.
if they lose against the Trailblazers, just pack it up, man. Go home, man. They don't need to be in the playoffs anymore. You're doing nonsense. So that's my fourth to seventh seeding right there.
Mhm.
So
So yeah.
basically, what you're saying inadvertently is that Timberwolves will face Pelicans based on you saying that Pelicans will get into that 7th seed, and if they do, and you say Nuggets in
Well, no,
pop,
Timberwolves
pop
might.
to
He
first,
Why don't
Timberwolves.
he picked Wolves
Timberwolves? Not,
first.
well,
First.
yeah,
Oh
Timberwolves are
yes, oh,
first.
good
The Timberwolves
Timberwolves
are
first.
first, but
I
I
want
don't
Super
believe
Nuggets.
I don't believe Pelicans might even make it in the tournament. In the playoffs. If they finish seventh,
Pel-
eighth,
Pelicans making it. Trust me,
I think they are.
I
I
do
can't
think
see them.
Lakers are
Pelicans
going to make a
making it.
surge. The only team
You
that is
want Lakers to
definitively,
make a surge.
only team that I could say definitively is probably going to finish ninth at the best would be Warriors.
Hmm.
Warriors can't get anything better than the ninth seed, so they're going to have to fight their way into the playoffs. Lakers could potentially make a
Yeah.
surge. Kings. So I mean, like, it's not a guarantee. If the Pelicans finish seventh and the Kings beat them and I want in a one game, they got hope
Yeah,
they
true.
get in
The Kings
playoffs.
could end up being the 7th seed.
And then even if the Kings, but yeah, how does it work now? If you play the first, yeah. So if the Kings finish eighth, still even if the Kings finish eighth and they still beat the Pelicans, they still go through. So I mean, the Pelicans got hope that they win that match, and if they lose it, and then go play Lakers or Warriors or Suns or Warriors, you know, they may never make it in.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, boy.
Get they
nothing
seed.
guaranteed right now. So the Timberwolves got probably hope for the most favorable lineup. I think that if it was Timberwolves, up to the Pelicans, Kings, Lakers, and Warriors. I don't know if we want to take a chance at Warriors. I feel the Warriors don't have the legs anymore. They're likely
I,
to crumble right now. Steph could still go off,
yeah,
but
yeah, but I
I would.
think to top on you, I can't tell how you did. So I think the Wolves have played the Warriors well all season. When they were playing well, when they
Mhm.
weren't playing well, but regardless of however the Warriors are playing, the Wolves played them well. Um, and I think they got a little history there too. You talk about drama, you talk about lack of drama, Draymond and choking up Rudy Gobert, and I just
Yeah,
feel like the last year or two, Anthony Edwards was chirping a lot at Draymond. Draymond's got a lot to say about Anthony Edwards as well.
Yeah.
I think that would be a dramatic series if it does come to fruition, and I feel like the Wolves would be motivated to destroy the
Warriors.
Warriors if given the chance.
I finally break at that. Finally break at that team.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we don't know, boy. They might be holding on for dear life. They might not want to let it go.
Nah,
We've seen
Warriors.
that already. Bulls,
I think this is the
Bulls
last
did
year.
that for the entire season.
I think this is
I
your
won't be
last
Yep.
season.
surprised if Warriors do the same thing.
I think this is your last dance. I think this is your last dance. I think
Hey,
Clay probably gone and Draymond gone. If not both of them, one of them for sure. But somebody has to go.
Draymond gone. Where?
I'm not going nowhere.
Somebody has to go. His
What
teammates
it
don't ever help.
said,
His teammates don't ever help him
he
out
never
anymore.
string buried there.
Yeah. Draymond ain't going nowhere, bro.
He ain't going
I don't
nowhere.
think that
Oh.
happening.
We
Ain't
shall
nobody
see.
want Draymond.
Wait, actually,
Nah,
the
nah,
only
nah.
way he will go
Players want Draymond. Players
is
want
in
Draymond.
LeBron lap. He will go in LeBron lap. That's the high place he will go. You might be leaving LeBron. Outside of Steph Curry and the Warriors organization, Draymond would go anywhere that LeBron go.
I don't
So
feel. I
if
don't
the
feel. I
opportunity
don't. I
present
don't feel. I
itself
don't.
to
I
play
don't
with
feel
the
LeBron
king,
would. I don't feel LeBron would take
He
him.
he will hope. Exactly. He will hope.
Not this version of Draymond. Definitely not.
It's the same
2016 probably.
version.
2016 version of Draymond probably.
hmm, I can see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
That I know that ain't happening. Not this year nor
Um,
next.
let me look off the East here quick. 6-8 race. I made me kind of mention it a
Yeah.
little bit already. And the Pacers and the 76ers and the Heat, they're really
Yeah.
close together. Any of them could move out to the plane or go into the plane. So there's I think there's a three teams to watch for the last four games. The Heat got a big win over the Pacers got a big win over the Heat last night. So they already start there creating that distance that they need.
Yep.
A big loss with the Heat as well. So before we go anywhere though, I remember one of the bold predictions we had a couple of weeks back was that the 76ers would have followed to the playoff race altogether. And then
Yeah.
just like that, boom, wild Joel Embiid appears and saved the day. Tyrese Maxey had 52 last night.
Well, we actually had them. We actually had that they were falling. They would probably fall into playing tournament, which they're currently in the playing
I
tournament. That's what he
Right,
said.
but I went
Yeah.
further and I said that I thought it would have been out altogether because
He
I
went.
didn't think that Tyrese Maxey could have carried them, but then I didn't expect Joel Embiid to be back at all. To be
Yeah.
honest, until the playoffs. So
Desperation, boy.
yeah, to me he was able to recover quite quickly.
Yeah.
They say that Carl Anthony Towns supposed to be coming back too late. He recovered. He just got injured just like a month ago, less than a month
You know.
ago. He
You know.
already back late.
The technology now is so advanced that they're doing
Yeah,
everything they probably to get these players back.
exactly. So
Man
these
cloning.
guys got something different. So yeah, pretty much went through all of that, and then we kind of touch 8 to 10. But I know Hakim want to give a little spew on his beloved Lakers team. Where do you predict the Lakers will end up, Hakim?
Lakers right now they're ninth,
In the
45
stands.
and 34.
In the
They're right now at
bleachers.
79. Let me check the Lakers fixtures quickly.
Hakim is gonna tell you whatever's probable.
Hakim is
Right now,
processing.
I have the Lakers
Let me go,
to
GM.
most likely finish seventh or eighth. Probably seventh or eighth. I can't see them getting to
Okay.
the. I can't see them getting up to six. Really, it would need a miracle.
Stop him.
Right now, they're 3 games they have 3 games left. Pelicans got 4. The Suns will lose their last 4. I mean, they may finish probably
Like
7th and
You are
beyond.
really banking on that to happen too.
The Suns and the Suns. Well, they might win 1 or 2, but realistically, Suns could lose 4. I'm not even joking. They got a very tough fixture. I can see them losing 4, boy.
mhm.
But the Lakers will probably finish 7th. If they finish 8th, that's still cool with me because at least they have no a chance. They have 2 chances of getting into the playoffs. If they finish 9th and they got to play the Warriors, that's not something I want to see. That could go either way. I can't predict that a one game one game
Yeah, I
fixture.
want to see it though. I
So I
want to
got
see
it.
it.
We got the Lakers to finish 7th or 8th and then go from there. That's what got to happen. America to finish 6th, but too many teams ahead of them right now. We already got the Pelicans to win some matches. I just think it'd be a lot to ask for them at this point in time to finish anything higher than 7th. So they're going to finish 7th or 8th.
I want to
You
see.
basically got them to finish them, like win them last 3 games and put themselves in a good position.
They might win the last. They might win the last
Two,
2 or 3.
but even then, yeah,
Yeah,
I can see them
yeah,
going 2 or 3. That game
yeah,
tomorrow night gonna be hot because
yeah,
the
for
Warriors
sure.
on the tail, and
But the Warriors, I think the Warriors though, the Warriors, the Warriors don't really get it. They can't get to. The most they could hope for is 9th to get home court advantage, and that's on them. They need a miracle for that anyway. So I mean, like
all right, but
they probably
they
gonna
might
finish
be
10th.
able, yeah, but they might be able to contribute to the Lakers getting ending up in the time spot. So
If they
they
if
need
they
to pay
win if
their
they win
heart
their
out
next
tomorrow.
if they win their next 3 games, right, they're gonna be on 48, 46 wins. Lakers just have to win one to be on 46, and I'm pretty sure Lakers beat the Warriors more times than not this season. And even so,
We could
the
check the
Lakers
season
got play
series.
the Lakers got play Grizzlies. We're hoping for that. That should be a win. Actually, whoever wins between Lakers and Warriors tomorrow is probably if Lakers win, then that's a wrap for Golden State.
Yeah, that's a wrap
If
for Golden
Yeah, that's a
State for
wrap for
sure.
Yeah.
sure. If Warriors lose, sorry, if Warriors win, it could get a little dicey. But I do believe
The
the
the,
fact
the
that
Warriors. The funny thing is, the Warriors lead the season series 2-1. So the
to the
Warriors
one,
are going for that game tomorrow for
Yeah.
sure.
That's
For
just
that's
for
sure.
definitely one to
just to
watch.
just to lose in their home court when he playing tournament comes. That's a shame. That's a
That
shame.
sounds like the Lakers bias coming out again.
That's a that's a shame.
But
That's a
again,
shame.
Hey, we can
well,
wait
what
and
would
see
be a
what
shame is
happens.
if the Lakers lose that game tomorrow night. So you better focus on what right in front of you. That's what. Focus on what right in front of you. But
Keep
I
writing
think
off Golden State.
I think also the schedules that we have here, the Lakers might have one of the easiest schedules of this 8 to 10 minutes. To be
Mhm.
honest, Sacramento has quite a difficult schedule. They kind of been hit with the injury bug as well to some extent. They got well, I know Kevin Herter was out for a while now. Malik Monk, who has been one of their big contributors, had an MLC sprint. I think it was last week or sometime ago. So he's definitely going to be out. So they got tough last 4 games. Sabonis has been playing with his mind, but I don't know. They really got to dig deep to keep themselves from falling further. The Lakers, I could see the Lakers getting the AFC pretty easily based on how the schedule is and the things that should work in their favor. Uh, but it all comes down to that game tomorrow night for the Lakers. If they lose that game, then they put themselves in a tough spot. So we'll see how it goes. I give the Lakers maybe to the AFC.
I
Not sure.
mean,
I
honestly,
mean,
they might still have a chance even if they lose that game.
Yeah,
yeah,
they will still got
I
a
don't
chance to get
think.
the AFC.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like just winning that game tomorrow night just sets a precedent uh, for to get a higher seed.
Right.
You start off with a bang. I don't see them losing all of the last 2 games that they will have to play after tomorrow night.
Yeah, they gotta beat the Grizzlies, man. They have to.
Mm-hmm.
They have to. So yeah,
So
that's what it is for me.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap for the playoff and
for
playing
this season.
races.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting stuff going on. Like, is there's so much possibilities and probabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it looking dicey, like you said, Rayvon, and we will see which analysis come to fruition in the
Yeah.
next
By next
four.
week.
Yeah,
By next episode.
in next four games for each. Yeah. Actually, the season will finish just before the next episode, so looking
Mhm.
forward to that one for sure. But we've mentioned this one all season long, man. We've mentioned Wembanyama from the get go. I've been on the Wembanyama train, and he hasn't disappointed at all. He's played with the cards he's been dealt, and he's done a pretty darn good job, if you ask me. And he's elevated his game a lot recently. Like, I think it was last week, I saw this ridiculous stat about him having um more blocks than 80+% of
80,
the players in these in the whole league, and
yeah.
that's that's a
Crazy.
testament to why I think he should get rookie of the year as well. So, any interesting thoughts on that? Maybe some thoughts that go against why he should not be. Sorry, against why he should be the rookie of the year.
Um, Nothing against, to be honest. Rookie of the Year is one of the few awards that just solely looks at the individual's performance, regardless of team record, because most people don't expect rookies to come and have a significant impact on teams. Um,
Mhm.
so off the bat, the only person that was in real contention with him for the entire year has been Chet Holmgren, and to me, he's fallen off for the radar for the award because Wemby has just simply been outshining him in all aspects of the game, points, rebound, everything, anything you could think about.
Yeah.
And literally, even though the record does not reflect carrying, but if Wemby wasn't on the Spurs, they would be a lot worse. To be honest,
How much worse can
to
you
be
get?
honest, I feel that if you put Chet in his place, I don't know how much better they would have been when they think about it from that perspective. Um,
Yeah.
Chat is such a good fit to the OKC system. Like, it just seems so seamless. I don't know if they had asked him to do more, what would be the outcome? Because right now, I would say these past 3 or 4 games, he's been in a position to really elevate his game. I think he had a decent game. He had 30 something points without Shea. But
Yeah.
uh, in the times where, even though they have been few, when Chat needs to like, really step up his game, like for example, how Wemby has had to step up his game on the Spurs for them to even have a chance. I haven't seen Chat do so. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have it. I'm not saying that at all, but I feel like
Mhm.
Wembanyama has set himself above Chat in that regard, of being consistently dominant on both ends of the floor, in a massive way. And you see it with the stat lines, you see it with the impact on the team, you see it with the on and off numbers. You talk about him having more blocks than 80 something percent in the league, having a career just for this season alone. And
Yeah.
we talking about rookie of the year right now, but what about maybe for defensive player of the year as a consideration too? Like, I know coming into the season, I had that outlook for Chet, but Chet has become what I thought. I mean, Wemby has become what I thought Chet would have been on the defensive end. Um,
Yeah.
Pretty and even more. So like, when we take all that into consideration, uh, Wemby has definitely got this award locked up. There's no way that Chet could win it, no, or anybody else for that matter of fact.
Yeah.
And and just put him in the defensive player of the year conversation. I'm pretty sure he's going to be one of the few rookies that made the all defense team because his defense, his individual defense, and his impact on defense on that team is astronomical. When you look at the Spurs defense, when he's on and off the court, is absolutely insane. I think it's like a 12 point
Night and day.
um, difference in terms
Night
of
and day
defensive rating.
difference.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
shout out to
Very much.
Wembanyama. He is going to be a problem for this league for the years to come, bro. All star next year for sure.
Wait, one question.
Mhm.
Would you say you're someone that likes a lot of fast food? Because all I hear is empty calories. Talk about Wemby, 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 Wemby. This man, it's in the points. You said, well, good defense. They have 19 and 59. What defense is being played there are trash right now. It, he must be the only man playing defense because no one else is making an effort. He, yeah, he has good numbers. When you talk about rookie, you know my position already. You say he playing great defense. 1959. They get slaughtered, losing games by double digits. Like he's he's a minor contribution. That's what I'm gonna say. Empty calories, points. You could get all these points on a losing on a huge deficit. It's not adding up to anything. It's not helping the team win. They
But
better.
the precedence on the
I
argument
and
was
you
that
get say because it's
is
supposed to
individual.
individual play. The last rookies in the years, last set of rookie of the years we've seen have been at least mid-table teams. Have been decent, a decent record. We've talked about this like 19 and 59. You could double that. You still ain't getting there yet. Almost triple it.
But
So
he's
I mean, like
basically the leader for the
actually,
Spurs
actually,
at this
actually
point.
triple it. You triple it. It's still ain't catching the. It's still ain't catching the losses. For me, Shaq has fallen off a bit, but he's been a outstanding rookie nonetheless. He's probably winning franchise. He's on a role player. He's contributed heavily on the offense and defense. And as you rightfully said, when SGA was out, he still got 30 plus points in that game. So it's showing that he's more than capable of being one of their main players on the team, which he currently is. Uh, To me, you gotta give it to him. You can't reward mediocrity in terms of a team performance. And yes, his numbers are decent, but that's what I'm talking about. Empty calories. Like, what is it doing? And you talk about you can't expect a rookie to have make a big impact when he comes to the team. When Jason Tatum came to the Celtics, I'm pretty sure he was in Eastern Conference Finals that same year. The man was a pivotal player. LeBron, pivotal player. You can make an impact. Donovan Mitchell, pivotal player. You can you can make a difference even as a rookie. So Ben Simmons, rookie. I mean, yeah, you can say he was a low ticklish because he had a season. He sat on the bench for a year, but nonetheless, he was considered a rookie. I give it a shot all day, every day,
All right, and you will lose. It's just that simple.
all day, every day.
You could go get, you can make up one, you could go and 3D print one and give it to Chet. But Chet will not win Rookie of the Year. And it's simple, simply because something I explained
He deserves to win it.
before. I can't say that he deserves to win it over Wembanyama. Again, the Rookie of the Year takes out all the bias and just looks at the player's individual performance. And much like most of the other, much unlike most of the other awards, this is one where they understand well. The precedence is rookies are are going to need time. Well, let's look at
But we
individually.
just
They're not going to be on the great teams.
the last set of rookies, we showed that they still they didn't have much time. Jason Tatum was one. Donovan Mitchell, they made an impact immediately. They were in the playoffs immediately. So I mean, like, what you
But
saying?
is it part of the team that already
Yeah,
existed before they came?
that's
So you got
that's my whole argument.
the Thunder. The Thunder
Look
is a
at who they are
peculiar
around.
case. Exactly, the Thunder is a
I'm pretty
peculiar
sure
case. Yes, I can say that.
Cavaliers did not make the playoffs the year before Donovan Mitchell came. Sorry, not Cavaliers. Jazz. I don't believe the Jazz made the playoffs the year before Donovan Mitchell came.
I can't remember, to be honest. But nonetheless, there are very few and far between cases where players that are high picks get drafted to already decent to good teams. More often than not, high picks go to, which is the design of the lottery. High picks go to teams that are not performing very well, that need the talent. That is the case with Wemby. He went to a team that before Wemby was there, you can't name a player on that team. I telling you.
DeMar DeRozan.
On the Thunder was already before Chet came, before Chet started to play. The Thunder was already trending upwards from their performance last season. They had a above 500 record. Actually, no, they were exactly 500. I expected them to take a jump. I didn't expect them to take this big of a jump, but they already have the makings of a good team coming in from last year. Where were the Spurs last year? Hakeem, where? What do you think they get when be in the first place? So with that said, I
Another thing
understand
too
it.
is that when you sorry, Ron, go ahead, finish.
No, I was just saying I understand the perspective of taking the team into consideration, which is what most of the NBA awards do. But for this specific one, the understanding is that most rookies go to lesser lesser talented teams, more of the high picks that go to lesser talented teams. So they take that out of they take the team success out of the picture to put some focus on the individual player skill set and how they
So,
perform uh,
so
uh,
my
uh,
question
uh,
then is, when Wemby came, would you expect their team to improve marginally, or would you expect marginal improvement to their overall
yeah, I wouldn't expect them to be like um vying for a play-in or playoff
No,
spot
but
per se. If they did,
would you at least expect a marginal improvement, a better performance, a better winning record compared to the year before?
um not necessarily, to be honest, because I just didn't think that the team, regardless of whatever Wemby was going to be, I know he was not going to. First of all, he's not going to be like who was one of the best rookies ever that came and
LeBron
flipped
James.
like a shot. And not even
LeBron
LeBron. Like
James.
LeBron ain't really flipped the team like that. I don't even
Yeah.
think they made the playoffs in his first season. Um, so the very few and far between rookies that already took a team and flipped the script. They need some time and they need better players on the team, frankly. And the reason the
Yeah.
team had the first place is because they didn't really have much good players in the first place. So I don't see how you would expect the rookie to any rookie to just come on the team and elevate the team so much
The wonders.
that team success in 1 year. No, you know, got learn the lead in 1 year. That team success should play a bigger factor than it does in the rookie of the year conversation. I don't see where you should expect that from a rookie, truthfully, because that's the base that you went off of. Shaq has been the most impactful rookie, so he should have been rookie of the year. But it's more about the more maybe they should name it most outstanding rookie of the year instead of rookie of the year. But put that prefix onto the title so it could be understood.
Yeah.
Empty calories. My final my final take.
I certain if LeBron was on his Spurs putting up numbers, you won't be saying empty calories.
Nah,
I'm
I say empty
certain
calories
of
still
that.
will say right now their record is 1959, right? Last season they were 22 and 60. They might have a worse record than last season with Wembanyama. All this hype. I mean, he's been getting hype out of this world, and yeah, he's deservedly so. He's been playing
And
well,
rightfully
have
so.
decent numbers, but not to
Those
have
are
rookie of the
decent
year.
numbers.
Uh,
All right.
19 and 59, they got a worse record this year. They might get a worse record this year than last year, and that so is it he didn't make any value to the team. Technically, when you look at it on a statistical level, he did not add any value to the team because right now the team is performing worse.
Okay.
that's a fair
And
point.
again, you still looking at it from a team perspective, and I
Right.
debunking that theory. I'm looking at it from an individual
By that
performance
by, by that
perspective.
performance, we should have given Kuzma the rookie of the year when he first touched down in Lakers, touched down in the league.
He was in the running for rookie of the year. He
He
didn't
should have
win
won
it,
it.
but he was
He
in the
didn't win
running.
it. Man was outstanding.
Well, you could go about in the past and give it to Kyle Kuzma if you feel that he deserves it so because
But but you're but
he was
you're
in the
on.
running on the premise, but he was in the running. He was in the running. I think if you go back and look at, if you go and type it in on Google or whatever search engine, you can find that Kyle Kuzma was in some either the top five or rookie of the year conversation for that league because
Mhm.
yeah, the Lakers was bad, but
They were
Kyle
winning at
Kuzma
first
was
actually.
playing the exceptional as an individual player. So that's the premise I'm making. If you go back and see that as a case, then you just proven my point at that point. To be
But
honest,
Kuz was
because
more. Kuz was more of a joy. He wasn't supposed to get it, but it was showing that he fell to the runners because they weren't in the playoffs anymore. They fell significantly. He was really in talks when they were doing well because they had a pretty good run to start that campaign with Lonzo playing well, getting some wins. Well, Lonzo was playing hit or miss, but for the time Lakers fell out of favor in terms of how they were playing, that conversation about Kyle Kuzma kind of faded away.
so how
When
about
did Kyle
what was his
Kuzma
performance?
into the league?
He entered I think in 2016. I think it was 2016.
2016. Okay.
2017, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But either way, I just think that again, individual performance and rookie of the year race with the understanding that they're rookies at the end of the day should be logical to take into consideration versus team success. Why would you expect a rookie player to have such an astronomical, or why would you expect team success to be a big factor of the rookie of the year voting when at the end of the day these guys are still rookies and the
Mhm.
expectation is for them to learn. To be honest, well, who's been most impressive? I think that's a fair way to judge the rookie of the year because if that was the case, like, for example, the Boston Celtics might get a 30 number 30 pick. He might come in to the team because their team success. He averaging 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Or you
So
can't
you're
give that
saying
man.
that
Can't give that
player
man.
B.
No, no, no. You can't give
All
that
right,
man.
but I just saying
And that was atrocious. I could average on the NBA. We can't. We
most certainly not. But either way,
can't.
I just saying like, all right, but they might got a player on as a rookie. Let's say the rookie class is not that great. They might got a player as a rookie. Let's say he's on the Trailblazers, for example. They are 15 and 50 something or almost 60 losses. He's averaging 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Who you
Mhm.
giving rookie of the year? The man that's average 9, 5 rebounds, and three
According to
assists
Hakim's theory, yes.
because he on a better
That's
team.
yep. And if his team made the playoffs, even better for him.
That's crazy. But nonetheless, everybody got their own theory. I just don't think that theory is the right to assess rookies by specifically. Um,
Hakim can average
individual
9
individual individual performance should be the focus for rookie of the year because again, I can
Yeah.
reiterate it. Rookies are not expected to. Rookies still learning. It's first year. You know, God expert. You know, God learn. Whatever you do within that learning period should just be the focus should just be whatever you do as an individual player during that learning period. I would say.
Yeah. So Hakim, based on your empty calories theory, that's what you can coin it as. If I guess let's say Wembanyama had a better defensive stat overall in the season, same outcome in terms of losses and wins for the team over Gobert, obviously whose team is in front right now. You would still give it to Gobert because that defense you would argue put them at the top, and Wemby's defense didn't do anything for the team. I just want clarity.
Make sure I
My head
understand.
fogged.
You trying to say you want me to say if I rate Wembanyama as a
No,
better defensive player
Wemby,
than
yes, he
than
has better
Rudy Gobert?
defensive stats, and Gobert has
I would say it's easier
close.
to I would say it's easier to get better defensive stats when you face a lot more shots or well I mean not say a lot more shots. If your team is not good offensively, they're going to be consistently on defense a lot more. By nature, you're
Mhm,
going to have more attempts to get better defensive stats because you're on the defense a lot more often. So that's like a goal. That's like a goalie in football facing having an atrocious defense. Got to face 10 more shots on average than the other goalie because his defense is better. He might be making better quality saves. The guy who has
mhm.
less saves, but you're gonna have a higher quantity just because your defense is trash. So I can't. It's hard to say. So I still go. I still go Rudy.
But but that's the same for Wemby and
But I still went Rudy because
um
I still
Chet.
went Rudy because Rudy had a better team,
Right,
but not as impressive stats.
right. And I saying that your argument could also be applied to the Wemby Chet situation, and that's why
If
you
Shet
you
was on,
basically
if
staying
Shet
with
was on
that.
OKC, sorry, if Shet was on Spurs, his numbers are probably a lot better too, because he be the
I
focal
say a
point.
lot better.
He be the man. He be the man. He be getting the ball. He be the man to get the defensive. His team. He probably get a lot more blocks. He has to block to keep his team in the running. He might be getting
I
more
guess
points.
I guess
He's
that's one thing we would never be able to determine based on just the facts the situation. The reality is when we put in a different situation than Chet, and we will have to put them now in two comparative situations to see who will come out on top. But unfortunately, that's not how sports go, and it just is the way it is, to be honest. But we all shall digress from that point. Who's the MVP for this season, guys? Hakeem, again, start with you on purpose. Who's the who's the MVP for this season?
Am I to be honest? I would have probably given it to Ant Man, but it
Whoa,
was, but
whoa.
I say SGA. Well, he's hurt now, so I don't know if he's still is he still qualified for these 65 games.
Yeah, he playing.
Yeah,
Yeah, he good. He played pretty much all the other games.
All right, I will give it to
SGA.
SGA. Yeah, SGA.
Mm.
Uh, for me, I give
Are
it
you
to
yeah,
Jokic straight off the bat. Another impressive season.
numbers just there. Like
Yeah,
I
the man is
tried,
consistent.
I tried to find players. I tried to find players,
I
and
mean,
I
Luca
couldn't.
might be the closest numbers ways, or well, actually, Luca might surpass him numbers ways, but
Right
it
now,
hard.
right,
Nope,
right
nope.
now, Jokic,
I
Jokic
tried
is even
Luca. I was
top
like,
five in points.
really? Say again.
Jokic is even top five in points per game. Right now, he's
What
In
he
happened?
right.
in terms of the race for
In,
MVP
well,
or
in terms of
just
the point,
general.
in terms of season leaders, he's on a top five in the points per game.
Yeah,
Because
well,
Luca
MVPs tend to be more all round than just
historically, yeah,
like
a little more well-rounded, but they look at points the most. To be fair, points is the highest. To me, that has is weighted the heaviest.
I mean,
And
if that was the case, then Luca would have had MVP a couple of times by now,
no, I
right?
say it's weighted the heaviest. It's not the only factor. Is I feel as that takes into account the weight. The weight of it is significant and the impact on the team as well, and the winning percentage, etc., and your contribution to the team. But
But again, if that was the case, Luca should at least win one. But I would say
he's not. Has he been
maybe he should be
averaging
winning this
hits?
one if that's the case. Luca averaging almost 35 points, dog.
yeah, I think it's like 33 or something like that.
33.9.
Like it's always going to be like a situation of which theory you favor the most. Whether
Yep.
you favor team performance the most over individual play the most. I think both of them should be put together on a scale and see who come the closest to balancing out the scale. That's my take on that. Like you can't just for this award only. This is not going back to the rookie of the year. That's different. But this one, when you're talking about value, you gotta look at their individual play because that's what we assessing against um what the team would do without them, basically. And I think you just gotta take that into consideration to where the team is. Or you could look at it from a standpoint of them with the team record versus them without the team record. That's a that's quite trivial, um, and kind of shallow in its analysis. But if you had to look at it from that standpoint, then I mean, you will always got outliers where some players will play far more games than other players, and you would never get a direct comparison. So I think you gotta kind of just mix the pot as much as you can and try to figure it out. And in this case, Lucas played a lot of games. Lucas being consistent with his stats, and he's been there for the team for the most part, and he's got a better result. So I would say Doncic. Sorry, no, not Doncic. Jokic is what I was trying to
Mhm.
talk about. Yeah, he's the one that should get the award, in my opinion. And this is not about how style of play is or how it look, anything like that. This is about value to the team, full stop. So I gotta go with Jokic. I can't see anybody else stopping Jokic right now.
to give this man three back to
Yeah,
back is a crime.
you get three back to back.
Well,
It's
well,
all
well,
win
not three,
last year,
three, well,
so
three, well, 3 or 4 years is a crime. But hey,
Eh,
oh, it could be a cream if you're
Hey,
that good. So who's the best player in the NBA right now? Let me
I
hear.
I think it would be a crime to rob the man. That's what I think.
That'd be fitting to be script. So that's it.
Who's the best player in the
Ask
NBA
the
right
about
now?
drama.
I say you can
Who's
give
the
it an
best player in the
SGA.
NBA right now?
You can give it an SGA. You can give it an Ant. When they've been
SJ over
historically right.
Luca?
Historically, they're players right that should have won it. You can always make a case that were robbed time and time out because the narrative, their contribution to the team will be more valuable than the other team. I mean, like you could make a case on so many different ways, but I will give it to him again. That's just me. That's just me. But
Well, that's what it's here. They got a name for that. I can't remember what the exact name for it, but you're looking at it from his perspective. You already get it too much, so he shouldn't be getting it again. Essentially,
he's
and
just done
that's
Trying
anything.
to
that kind
He's
rob
of
just
the
done.
rob
man a
He's just,
that
he's just done
rob
anything. He's just done anything
LeBron
differently
onto
this season.
MVPs. So what difference are you looking for specifically?
I mean, like, well, for one, they're never dominating the West like how they did last year. Well, the year was it last year or the year before? I think they dominated the West last year. They're never dominating the West like that. They're second at the moment. I mean, you can say SGA, you can easily make a case for SGA saying his impact has been much more valuable to to that team than him to Nuggets. You have Jamal Murray still playing at an incredibly high clip. Yeah, he's been in and out of the team at times, but Jamal Murray clearly is that guy. He's more the closer than Jokic, I would say. I mean, you could say I would give it to somebody else. I would give it to SGA. That's the truth.
That is funny. You know, I saw a stat the other day. The highest percentage of shots with 3 seconds or so left on the clock in the clutch. You know who got the highest percentage and who take over like the more shots within our time frame of the game? Nikola Jokic. So you point about Jamal Murray being clutch. None of boys straight there from the start.
In big games, he's normally the finisher.
I,
In
I,
big
I ain't
games,
saying I ain't saying that Jamal Murray don't do it. I just saying that more consistently, more reliably, Jokic is the man that's really close out games for them. But even if it's not,
uh,
maybe
has
he
this
might be
because
passing it off to somebody
has,
else.
has this been the case when
He
Jamal
is.
Murray was out? Because Jamal Murray was injured points in time of this season as well. So he missed
So
games.
how
He
you
missed.
think? So how you think they've been able to stay afloat? How you saying that they
But,
haven't
but I'm
been
saying,
dominant, but you know
but
at
I'm
the end
saying,
of the day, what's the
I'm saying
record?
Murray. I'm saying Murray. They're not as dominant in the West. Last time they blew away the West. Right now they're
That's fine.
second.
We could argue that teams got better too. Case in point, OKC.
But I mean, teams did get better, but at the same time, because they were less dominant than last year, does that mean that the player is not as good as last year because the team is
I don't
is
think
less
so.
dominant? I don't think that's a philosophy that could
Because
be
what
employed.
I was doing is discrediting the teams that actually step up. And
And there's a
then
lot of teams that step up.
punishing the man, yeah, and then punishing the man for having kind of the same, well, I should say, the same level of play or value as before. And to be honest, if they could get the number one seed, this would even solidify his value in the team because now he kind of back up why his value is so needed in the team in order to maintain number one seed. So I can't go with that philosophy again. That's just a stretch.
I can see the argument for SGA. He's been great. I would have picked him earlier in the season. Maybe discuss this topic. Um, but since then, since the All Star game, Jokic has been putting up some crazy numbers: 30 plus points, 15 plus rebounds, 15 plus assists. Like, come on, you don't see them things. And I always say, was win things like these, things that you never see. So going back to Wemby as well, things that you never see. Jokic doing things that you never see. These guys will always put themselves a cut above the rest because they're doing things that you never see. And people like to see things that they never see. So Jokic got a big case. I don't think he performing any worse than last year. He didn't win it last year because Joel Embiid had a great season last year and he was healthy. If Embiid was healthy this year, he would have won it again because Joel Embiid was eclipsing what he did last year as well. But That's
It was on
another
that trajectory for
conversation. Yeah,
sure.
it wasn't. Yeah, he was on that trajectory, but Jokic is the next best person. Even with Embiid playing that, I still will call Jokic the best player in the league because of how he dissects the game on a different level. Kind of LeBron s in a sense when it comes to controlling the game and leaving making his impact loudly on any basketball game. So Jokic deserves the MVP for me.
All right. I ain't been moved, but yeah,
Everybody boxing with you today, boy, Hanky.
it seems so. I feel it. A remind in Civil War.
Ah, I guess we could just run through these quick. Some quick first round matches that I want to see the most. The first one in the East for me is Magic versus the Knicks. I just think that is going to be a dog fight. It's going to be an ugly 2000 style first round matchup with scores on that 100 points and Jalen Brunson having to carry them team and score maybe like 30 points. I think that's going to be fun. You got Jalen Suggs on the defensive end guarding um, Jalen Brunson. That should be fun as well. I'd like to see what Paolo Banchero makeup. As I tell you, this is my second favorite team in Magic. So I can say sometimes he's will be a little bit inefficient. I want to see if he's able to take his game to the next level when it comes to the playoffs, like most players do. So excited to see that. And then in the West, of course, Clippers versus Mavs. The good old Clippers versus Mavs rivalry that started way back in the bubble. Luca always finds a way to cut this team, so it's going to be fun to see if the history repeats itself again. And Luca, not only Luca, you got Kyrie on the team, and they're playing well at the 90 season. The Clippers not playing so well. We just coming a couple of weeks back saying the Clippers are the team to watch for the title. Yeah, the Clippers are the team, and just like that, boom, it vanished. Um, it kind of lost some momentum. So let's see how the playoffs is going to turn out. Shout out to Paul George though for hitting that game and shot the other night against the Cavs. That was absolutely disgusting. Dropping in man and just burying the basket. 39 points for the win and the game winning shot. Shout out to Paul George.
Nice,
All right.
nice.
So just to be clear, you said the Magic versus Knicks for the East, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not really factoring in. That's just the match you would love to see, but not really factoring in any sort of seeding.
Well, I
Hmm.
factored in the possibility of it having on my end, but you could see what you would love to see. I would do it if it's possible. Um, in my head.
Okay.
But if you see something else that you don't think is possible, but you would still like to see, then you could still share it.
All right. So for me in the East, I don't play these teams in the East. That's the truth. I would say
You don't like them?
I don't relate these teams. Not the
You
current,
don't
not the
like hit
current,
options.
not the current roster that they have. I would go match. I would love to see probably Knicks versus. I would say Knicks versus Heat. If that's possible. The reason why I say that, I just feel like Knicks being a young, energetic team, relatively speaking, the Heat being an experienced Jimmy Butler, how he turns up for any playoff series, any playoffs in general. I think that'd be a good gritty match, good skill, good defense being played. The rising star in Jalen Brunson versus Jimmy Butler. And then you obviously have Bam on the other team on Heat. I just see that as being a good fit, a good matchup right now for the first round. I think it's possible, a possible matchup. Uh, actually, it's a little, maybe not possible unless the Knicks can move up, it's still possible somewhat. But yeah, I definitely see that to me as a match I would love to see. All the other teams, I just see them being landslides for the most part. If the 76ers do have to play Celtics, that could be a very interesting lineup. Once Joel is healthy, I think that would be an unfortunate fixture for any team because those are both two teams that were, you know, had good aspirations to win it all or at least get out to the conference final. So yeah, and well, actually, Lord forbid, actually imitate about. I think the best matchup we can hope for right now be the Bucks versus 76ers. Docs or team versus the Bucks. Two big men going at it, Embiid and Giannis. Yeah, yeah. That's actually a fairly feasible fixture right now. So yeah, my take is the Bucks versus 76ers. If I do a second fixture, Knicks versus Heat. But for now, Bucks versus 76ers, that is a match right there for me in the East. And then the West, first round matchup.
Yeah.
mm, Clippers versus Mavs. I'd probably go with that fixture. I think that I think that's probably the most entertaining series you could get for sure. Um, Lakers versus Timberwolves. I might actually even say Lakers versus Nuggets just as another fixture. The problem with that is like
Trust me, Lakers
I
didn't want to
don't,
see
I,
that.
don't- I don't, yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying, right? I don't know if like it's a great fixture because you don't know how it could turn out, optimistically speaking. But
I
it's not
think
gonna
AB
be.
know how it
It
get.
w-
If
it,
Lakers getting Lakers can lose.
it wouldn't be
Lakers
easy
ain't
to play
going
Nuggets.
further
But
than
could
the
you?
first
But could
round.
you imagine that going to a 7 game series and Lakers winning, beating Nuggets?
Yeah, we can only
That
imagine.
that would be a repeat of the Western Conference Finals from last year. Yo, that's must see TV right there. But I gonna go with Clippers versus Mavs. Yeah,
Okay.
those are probably a more
Last
even
song, Hockey.
fixture.
Can only imagine. I I going with Pacers versus Bucks for the East simply because Pacers has
That is
shown
perfect, Hans. That's perfect.
like Pacers has shown that their tournament game so far has been good. So I expect them to turn up, and I want to see what the Bucks are made of. I just want to see a young fiery team go against Giannis and just go tit for tat. To be honest, two teams too that don't got no defense. I just
Exactly.
I just want to see like a high scoring fast paced game, and I think Pacers and Bucks is possible, and I want to see that.
Yeah.
Um,
And they got some history too. On top of that, like with the whole Giannis trying to get the game ball thing
yeah,
and all
exactly.
that. Like they got some history for this past season. So if it turns out to be a for the sake of creating a new rivalry in the NBA, I would love to see that because I thought of that before I said what I said, and I was like, yo, this got the makings to be saying special because I feel like the Pacers got the Bucks number, even though Giannis come and drop 50, and I think for them it didn't
Yeah,
matter, still hold it L. So
that's that's exactly what I'm
that's a
saying
good
too.
pick.
I feel like more people gotta step up to the plate for Bucks in order for them to get over this hurdle, and I think Pacers, pun intended, could outpace them when it all said and done
Mhm.
in the
Unintended.
offensive end. So we will see how that goes. In terms of the West and possible matchups that would be exciting outside of the Clippers and the Mavs, I would say this is tough, but I would say Pelicans and Timberwolves might be one to watch.
I want to see that top,
Pelicans and Timberwolves might be one to watch, and
but it would be
if
fun.
it's possible, say again.
I say it would be fun, but I don't want to see it.
Yeah,
It might not
like
be that much fun for me.
honestly, right? We got two players in this team, Zion and that
Explosive.
passionate,
Yeah.
passionate, and yeah, explosive is a very good word to describe these two players. Zion can go for it. You gotta try to stop that train. He's a freight train, and then you got
Can't stop.
hours that and ain't care who in front of you, and ain't going for buckets. And he might have to be a more mature player in terms of knowing when to share the ball and when to go for it, and kind of balance that. And Zion has to carry the team with Brandon Ingram out. He has to definitely step up as well. So two players I think that will have to step up possibly in the first round. And that will be a nice matchup. So a little bit against the grain or the
Ah, that's a
obvious,
good
but
pick, man. I think that
That's a
I
good.
think
It's
those
them the
solid.
those
two
are
young
two
guys that
ones.
got a lot to prove. That one proved something in
Exactly.
the playoffs. No, I made their mark as star players too. So
Right.
that's a good call.
For sure. So that's basically it for NBA. I don't want to dive too much into F1. Miss the Australian Grand Prix. That would have been
Yeah,
nice to
that's
talk
true.
about with
Yeah,
Sainz winning the
a
unfortunate event.
change, a
Yeah,
change for once.
I can, I can hear the change making noise right now.
That is
Um,
true.
that was nice to see, but kind of bittersweet in the end because a whole lot happened that weekend. We had the Sega with Williams, Logan Sargent getting benched basically, and Alex Albon getting ever so close to the points. We had a lot of commentary takes on that. Julian Palmer being one of them that went against the grain and be like, hey, Logan Sargent should have been given the drive. Hey, who knows? I can leave that right there. But yeah, Sainz again so far the only driver outside of a rival team to win the last how much ever races happened between last year and this year. I think that's what 27, 28 races now.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's pretty impressive that Sainz been the only man on the top set of the podium. A man that don't got a drive as yet for next season, but definitely would have one. Um, then we see just quickly so-called number two drivers, and this is only based on what people might tend to think, but I look
Mhm.
at number two drivers a little bit differently. Like I actually watch races and I actually see drivers performing. People might look at stats or um other
History.
factors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other factors in terms of who the team might favor to determine who's the number one or number two driver. And we got Sainz outperforming Leclerc at this point. We got George Russell also being faster than Hamilton more often than not. And to kind of seal this whole point that I'm making about number one and number two driver, I would throw a question out there. Who is number one and number two at RB? As a man that would argue Yuki's
Eh,
number
eh,
one.
yeah, I would say
Some
Yuki's
people,
number one. Eh.
yeah. Some people might argue that Ricardo is number one because he got the most experience and he's been brought back there to lead the team, but not sure. Not too sure about that. You know what I mean?
Not
So
looking soft.
hey, everybody was on the Daniel Ricardo hype. I was not, and so far I'm right. And so far looking like Daniel has to look for a job um next next year because hey, we had Liam Lawson come in short notice and challenge Yuki, even beat Yuki. Yuki haven't swept this guy, and Yuki swept Daniel Ricardo so far. Outside of the preference in Bahrain where they let Daniel Ricardo pass and still couldn't escape Yuki. So um you know what I mean? Like
That's just
it,
to tell you where the man at right now. Eh.
exactly. I mean, a lot of people had high hopes because of his history. I looked at his history and his stats, and I was like, these aren't really impressive, but I guess I see where the hype comes from. He's a likable guy, blah blah blah. Who knows? But hey, it is what it is. Is a really cutthroat business F1. So hopefully Daniel don't take it too hard when December come and realize that he don't have a seat.
I
He
think he
might.
know by now. I think
Hey,
he's aware.
he can try. He can try. He can try. But I don't see him beating Yuki. And like I said, like last time, Yuki to Mercedes. That's my prediction.
Mhm. A quick one, last thing on F1. Yet
Yeah.
again, we had Red Bull 1-2, but the 1-2 wasn't really a big challenge for Max. what Perez missing, man? Like, come on, give me some excitement. Red Bull dominating, I get it. I know you're happy that your team's still at the top, but we want to see you
Yeah,
challenging your teammate, though, brother. Not
exactly.
just
For
not just the
resting.
rest of the
That's
parts.
what he
Yeah.
doing. For resting. Checo for resting. Like he's not challenging Max at all. Um
Uh-uh.
like on one lap pace in Japan over the weekend, he was pretty close. He was pretty close. He was within 100ths of a second. I guess that's pretty close, right? But he couldn't, and this might be due to other factors too, but he couldn't make the podium in Australia when Max was out the race. He couldn't step up
Mhm.
and win that race.
Exactly.
I know for a fact if the Brits didn't film Max would win that race.
Mhm.
Um, so so far, I don't think there's any force stopping Max. So Taco got to step up just for the excitement, just to challenge his teammate and bring excitement to the front of the pack. If Chaco fighting with the other teams, this is not a question of if Red Bull car better. This is a question of Max. No, because you can't tell me that like Perez being challenged by Ferraris and sometimes McLarens even, and being challenged actually finishing with a smaller time difference than himself to Max, and you telling me that
Mhm.
the Red Bull is the only factor that putting these guys in this position. I think Max is just outstanding driver, point
Yeah,
blank,
yeah.
and it
Man is
shows.
better.
That's it. Mine's just better. And
Yeah.
that's basically all I have to say for F1. If next week rolls around in China, in this sprint race format and the results is the same, you're not going to hear too much analysis from me unless something crazy happen. You know what I mean? Unless something
Yeah.
crazy happen, but
Yeah.
it is
Right
what it
now,
is right
it's
now.
sad. Sad at F1 in this part because we praying for news. We praying for saying fun and exciting. We praying for
Yeah,
that 2021 season again.
exactly.
But the man just ain't hitting, boy. So
Yeah.
um you never know. Next week somebody might, I know the Red Bull engineers might slip up and Sam might go on, might get some excitement into the race again.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Max gets beat on merit, but
Not
hey,
happening. I don't see it happening unless it's Perez. And right now he ain't
hey,
looking to be trying to do that.
right now there's two drivers who well, three I would say, who on serious form, and that's Max, Carlos Sainz, and
Carter
Lando
Sainz.
Norris.
Yeah, I just gonna
And
say Lando.
I don't think Carlos got to worry about a job next year. I think Perez got to worry about a job because I think
Yep,
Carlos going to Red
he
Bull.
does.
So
Probably.
exciting in that regard.
All right.
So yeah,
To wrap it
I
up, man.
digress from F1 though.
Yeah, wrap it up, man. Marquee matchups. The last week of marquee matchups. Well, first of all, let me backtrack a little bit. I was supposed to get it. Just pull it. Well, not pull it up, but let me get it. Quick. We didn't do checking on prediction standings in a long, long time.
Yeah, it's been a
Um,
minute.
so just
I wonder if
well,
I got
no,
some cardboard laying around that I could start arts and craft this
they,
weekend or something.
all right, don't be this whole off the bragging. You haven't let me talk yet.
Go ahead, go
Um,
ahead.
so right now in third place with a disappointing 28 points is myself.
You below 500 or what?
I don't even know what record that is, but nonetheless,
Uh,
in second place with
nah,
30
50
points,
cent.
um, is Hacks and having a
That's
Max
Marquee.
Verstappen type lead on the pot is Hans with 36
Vroom,
points
vroom,
heading into this
vroom.
final week.
In the form
Um,
of his life.
so right now that's the standings. There's only a battle between number 2 and 3. So these predictions for this week could make or break that second or third spot.
Unless we want double the points.
Double, triple, however
Aye.
you want to do it.
You want to make it interesting, huh?
We could do that.
I hope the Lakers in these marquee matchup predictions, because
All right,
that's a
so
guaranteed L for you, Hakeem.
you want to get double points on predicting the score?
If we if we do double points, Hans are gonna lose all three just to lose, just to lose, just
Right,
to
and I
lose.
don't see that possibly happening. That'd be very hard.
It's never know. But unless you do
Or
unless you do triple points.
we could do weighted wagers where we put 3 points on one, 2 points on
And
the
two on the
next, and then
rest?
1 point on one.
When I was still gonna be, it's gonna be
Or
two,
we
it's
could
gonna be
introduce losing points too.
I
deductions.
vote that life.
I just saying.
I mean, hey, let's make it interesting. I can hold off on the arts and craft for now. Let's make it interesting. What you guys want to do?
All right, so we got three predictions this
double
week.
wins and then 1 point if you lose. 1 point deduction if you lose a fixture.
Double wins,
Yeah, so if you win,
or
instead of 1
always,
point, it's 1
or
point.
you
All
want to do
wins.
weighted wins?
All
Like,
wins.
like 3 points for a win on one match, 2 points for a win on the next match on one. Or, like, for the most volatile one, or like the closest matchup that you think could happen, you put 3 points on that one if you get it right, kind of like that. And then the most obvious one, you put 1 point, so that the possibilities for the person in the lead right now not being able to maximize on the points might be better than just doubling. Because let's say I get 2 out of, like, I still pretty far ahead if you just keep the points as double.
Or you can do that. You
If
can do
not
that then.
spending.
If you want to do a 3-2-1 or a 3-2-2.
Yeah, because that way, let's say if I lose the one that worth 3 points, I still get my -1, so you actually get 4 points ahead, basically. So you bridge
Sure.
the gap by 4 points.
Okay,
Really
we can
quick.
So you want to do it based on what's the biggest game of this lot? Then
Yeah, well, you say biggest, but I would say closest matchup. Like most, like the matchup that you could most likely get
hardest to
wrong.
predict. Most difficult to predict.
Yes.
okay, so I think that's the first one off the rip, which is Warriors at Lakers. Straight off the bat, and them close in terms of seeding as well. We had a little discussion
9
with
and
them this episode.
Yeah, 9 and 10.
So like, there's a big match. I think the second biggest match would be the Wolves at the Nuggets, because that could have an implication for the number 1 seed.
That's huge.
Mhm.
Nuggets versus.
And then the final one would be Bucks at Thunder. It
Alright,
has
I think the
implications
one.
for both the teams.
I feel the one should be Thunder. The one should be the Bucks versus
Yeah.
Thunder. The 3
Yeah, for sure.
should be Nuggets versus Timberwolves, and the 2 Lakers and Warriors. Just because that's the 9th and 10th seed. Like, they ain't really move it. They might not really move too far out of there. The 1 and 2
So,
is
so we agree that Warriors Lakers is 2 pointers, Wolves Nuggets is 3 pointers, and Bucks and Thunder is 1 point.
yeah. I will go with that.
And any that you get wrong is -1.
We want to do a minus 2 for the biggest one.
Hey, don't shoot yourself in the foot, buddy. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. 'cause-
Me paying first what we're doing. It'll be top of the pot. Or 9.
hey, if you get it wrong, you might put yourself in last too.
Top of the pot or
So-
nothing.
Fair enough. So yeah, we can keep the -1.
So -1 on all of them,
Yeah,
Yes.
minus
if you get it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
-1 on all. I think that's fair.
All right.
Is that fair? I think that's fair.
I think that's
For sure.
reasonable.
Yeah.
All right, so off the bat then. All right, let me start with the least weighted.
Bucks at
Bucks at
Thunder.
Thunder.
I go with the Thunder.
Who you got, Hakim?
I hate thinking if the Bucks can snap their losing streak.
I got no faith in the Bucks right now. I go with the Thunder as well, and I feel like Shea should be back for that game, if anything. And then we got a boy to
It's
stop
1 point,
Shea.
Hakeem. It's 1 point, buddy. It's 1 point.
Thunder.
Yeah. I'll laugh if all we get -1. That'd
And then
be
we
funny.
still the same.
We still like in the same place.
Yeah, we still the same.
But this is the last game on in terms of date and time, so
Mhm.
there's that as well.
We should actually do a. I don't know when this game is going on.
So this was that game is the 12th, which is
Yeah.
4 days from now. All right, the next game is Warriors at Lakers. I going with the Warriors on this one.
Yeah, you think that they got all to play for, right?
Yeah, I think this could be
Lakers.
a big game.
This is going to be a big game, and I going with Lakers. I think Lakers got the number on Warriors. I've seen
Yeah, they should.
Warriors try a lot, and they haven't shown much. So
Mhm.
yeah, this is a big
Well,
one. This is a big one
um,
here. I go with Nuggets though. Nuggets got to come true for me, and not even trying to
Timberwolves.
metal.
I game with the Wolves.
There, yes. This
Wolves
is
as
where I
well.
goes. It dicey. It dicey.
I already ready back, so I ain't got nothing to lose other than to take a big swing on most of them.
It is
Um,
dicey. I like it because if I if I lose to Wolves at Nuggets, I basically down 4 points against all to y'all. Because I think Hakim got Wolves as well.
wait, what should we got? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I got
So
Wolves.
yeah, it's looking dicey. I like it.
This should be a
I
fun
like
rest
it
of the end, just like the season.
for sure. For sure. Uh,
What are
I
you
could
feeling?
lose it all. I feeling all right. I feeling all right. Last predictions. You know, I still
All the
got some
rumbles.
pride. I think my regular season predictions was good, but now it's playoff predictions. I know how we
Coming
feel
up,
with
yeah.
my playoff predictions. No. I mean, this is our like internal playoff predictions. It's like,
Oh, yeah. Got you.
yeah, it's like all or nothing almost. So yeah, it's what it is.
All right. Well,
I'll give me
we do
soon,
got
boy. I hear it in the background.
we got
Someone coming.
playoffs coming up too. Yeah, so I can try to work out a system. I did one last year. I think we had a pretty decent system to work out
Mhm.
like the points last year for playoff because we got different
We're
things
doing
to
all the
predict.
matchups. We got to do all the
Yeah,
matchups for the playoffs,
yeah.
like
So
every single one. So we can get it for
we could
sure.
use that same rubric from last year to work out these playoff predictions and yeah, going from there.
Yeah, I want
Um,
the fans to get involved in this too. This is gonna be hype. It's gonna be fun.
well, we could talk about that after. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, we could figure out some way to see how we could get people involved in making these predictions as well.
for sure.
Um, but I think that's a wrap for the guys.
Yeah,
Anything else?
stay
That's a wrap.
blessed, stay safe, and have a
All right.
fantastic week.
Yes, sir. Thanks for tuning in again. And as always, if you're still on the stream, drop a like and
Like
follow us on
button.
Instagram. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And keep an eye out on the Spotify page for the audio version of the podcast. Shout out to all the
Yeah.
Spotify fans as well. So that's it, peoples. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. We see you next week. Peace.
Peace out.
Bless.